Happy New Year, podcast fam. William Papa is a TikTok creator who has surpassed 1.1 million followers in the time span of only 6 months. This dude has blown up. He uses his platform to create videos that not only entertain others, but show teens how to be more confident and stand up to things like bullying and social anxiety. Season 4 starts right now. You are listening to WHOA Podcast, coming to you from Gainesville, Florida. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the WHOA GNV Podcast, the podcast bringing you businesses and individuals that make you go, whoa! I am your host, Collin Austin, and my co-host, Michael Dees, is not here today, you guys. I'm super sorry to let you know that he was here earlier in the day and was not feeling too hot. We had a storm roll in. I think the pressure system, like a little headache and stuff like that. And he was like, man, I think I should bow out. So Mike, dude, I love you, man. I hope you feel better. Super sorry that you're out. Like, you know, this is going out at the beginning of the year, you guys. And we're actually recording back-to-back episodes tonight. So, hey, you know, Mike, I just hope you feel better. And to everybody who's listening, Happy New Year. William, are you excited about the new year, man?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Hopefully 2021 will be our year, yeah.
Yeah, you guys, I'm super excited to introduce our guest. But before we do, I want to thank some sponsors, you guys. I want to let you guys know the people who are making this show happen. Shout out to The Best Restoration, you guys. Podcast fam, if you need to have friends on your side when disasters happen, and no, I'm not talking about the entire year of 2020 because we can admit, right, it's a complete disaster.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about when that toilet overflows, that washing machine leaks, or when that pipe bursts in the wall. Have these things happened to you yet? Have you entered, like, these are things that your parents are still handling?
Yeah, more for right now, but I'm starting to get into it, you know, getting ready for college.
I feel that, man. Or if you're like us and you like move your business. So when we moved into this place, this entire place was filled with mold. The memories, man. But you know what? It was okay because the Best Restoration came through. Jorge brought his team and they came to our rescue. You guys, I can speak firsthand to the quality of the work of these guys. They are incredible with their certified techs and state-of-the-art equipment. These guys are the masters of disaster. Give them a call at 352-505-3321 or visit them at thebestrestoration.com. And we also want to thank Leonardo's Pizza. You guys, thank you to Kyle Cohan and the team over at Leonardo's Pizza Mill Hopper. You know, they've been such an incredible sponsor of ours for the entire, like, throughout 2020, throughout the coronavirus, when we were doing the coronavirus sessions. They were absolutely epic. You guys, Leonardo's Pizza offers the same classic food, family-friendly atmosphere, local beers on draft and in cans, and they even have an upgraded wine selection. During these times, they are still implementing safety precautions, and of course, with masks for guests that are not at the table, masks for all team members, limited seating, and these guys even purchased some UV sanitizing lights to make sure that the restaurant is virus-free. I love their heart and the heart for Gainesville. They are so supportive of us and this community. Order takeout or delivery on leonardosmillhopper.com or through 352 delivery. Also, they are now catering orders, you guys, through easycater.com. Treat your office to some delicious pies from our friends at Leonardo's Mill Hopper, leonardosmillhopper.com, or call them at 352-376-2001. Yeah?
Yeah.
So you guys, today on the show, we have William Papa, a content creator on TikTok, born and raised right here in Gainesville, Florida. William, welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, yeah.
Dude, so honestly, if there was going to be an episode where Mike wasn't going to be here, it's probably good that it's this one because I'm the guy who like is just a social media fool. Like I just love everything social media and I probably dominate the conversation anyway. So, it's great to have you, man. I'm excited to dive into this. I was blown away by the little bit that I've heard of your story. Okay. So, I'm going to go ahead and ask you to go ahead, tell everybody who you are. Tell them about this journey on TikTok. When did it all happen? I know it's been a short ride, and it's been an explosive one. So I'm excited to hear. But go ahead and kind of tell everybody like what's going on and a little bit about your story.
Oh, where do I even begin?
Yeah, man. Wherever you want. That's the best part, dude.
So I guess I'll start when I first started making TikToks. That was, I believe, in March, right when lockdown first happened. And I had nothing to do. Previously, I was, traveling soccer. I was playing track and field for my high school. And my life was just kind of like a machine. I didn't have much free time at all. That's kind of the way I lived prior to the lockdown. And when the lockdown first hit, I was at my friend's one night, and I was looking through my phone, and I see TikTok. I was like, man, I'm so bored. Like, I have nothing to do. So I was like, I haven't been on this app for a while. So I opened up the app, and I was like, hey, I might as well just make a TikTok while I'm at it. I go ahead and make a TikTok. It was just like a silly idea. I just let my ADHD run for like an hour, just get an idea. And, it's just like how the 7 deadly sins would dress if they were actual people. And I got the idea from watching a show called Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, which is, an anime. There's these characters that represent the 7 deadly sins. So I thought it was like kind of cool if it was like modern time or whatever. So, it was just kind of a stupid idea. And I just put it out there. And I was on FaceTime with my friend one night, and I look at TikTok, and the video's blown up. I was like, wow, this is crazy. I was like, I did not expect this. This is like my first video on TikTok. And
so this was like literally the first video you made?
Yeah, the first video I made on TikTok.
But you said you already had the platform?
I had the platform previously.
But you just never put up a video ever?
No.
Had you even like really watched other people's content up to that point or no?
I did. I never was on the app that much though.
Okay.
So.
Did you have the app when it was called Musical.ly, or did you actually get it when it was TikTok? Be honest.
I'm not gonna lie. Yes, middle school I did have a Musical.ly.
Okay.
We don't talk about that.
Okay.
It's not my brightest moment I've ever had.
Okay.
This is right up there with my karaoke app I had in like 7th grade.
Okay.
Classified information. However.
All right.
So the video starts blowing up, and people wanted a part 2 with the other deadly sins and see how they would dress. So I was just like, okay, well, I have nothing else to do. So I went ahead and I made part 2 the next day. People enjoyed the part 2, and I was like, well, I could actually probably do something with this. I have nothing else to do, and I don't know how long I'm being locked down for. So I was scrolling through TikTok, and I was looking for, which community to join, because I was talking to my friend who had at the time had like 100K, and she was originally in the dance community. I think she's about done making TikToks now, but yeah. So I was just scrolling through TikTok, and I was like, well, I'm 6'5", right? I'm very skinny and uncoordinated. I can't dance, right? I know I'm not the funniest at the time. I was a bit socially awkward, so I was just like, I'm not funny, right? And I did like a 2-week acting camp back in middle school, and I see like the POV community come up. I'm like, well, might as well get into it, right? So I go into POVs, and people love it.
A POV is point of view.
It's the point of views. It's like the acting skits,
okay.
right? So
I know what POV stands for. I just I'll make sure it's relating same terms, I guess.
Yeah. So I get my inspiration from this other creator. His name is Jordan DeClausie. And I'm actually friends with him now. It's kind of funny. I looked up to this guy. He had like 1.4 million followers when I first saw him. Now I'm like friends with him.
Okay.
It's crazy now how things just change over time. But I just go straight into POVs.
Okay.
And people start loving it. I start making these series, just let my ADHD run. I'd make about like 5 drafts, post 3 a day. And, people really enjoyed it.
Okay. So that first video,
mm-hmm.
Okay. Were you intending on it being a part 1, part 2 type thing? Or, cause you just posted it, right? And then it just like starts taking off.
Yeah, no, I just didn't expect it, doing so good.
How many views did it get in that 24 hours? Do you even remember?
I think it was the 60,000 to 100,000.
Okay.
For my first video.
On your first
really
video.
Good, yeah.
Okay. And then you're just like, okay, I'm going to make a part 2 of this.
Yeah, people were in my comment sections, and, I had these girls simping over me is the word they use nowadays. And I was like...
Simping?
Simping is like...
What does that even mean?
It's kind of like a crush in a way, like crushing on me. And I was new to this, man.
James, do you know what simping means?
Yeah.
Dude, am I that old? Like, this is what sucks is like, I'm 38 years old and now I'm starting to feel like the really old guy, you know? I'm like, dang, dude, I'm not that old. I should know these terms. Actually, I really should. Okay, so simping.
So I was completely new to this prior. I would just go to school, go to track practice, and drive 2 hours to Jacksonville for soccer practice, get back home around midnight, do homework, and hang out with 2 people. Right? Okay. That was my schedule for months. I was just completely new to this.
Okay, and the first video you put up when?
I believe it was in March.
Okay, so it was right when so you were at home, school was closed at this point, or school's online. I don't even really, because you're in high school, right?
Yeah, I'm taking online courses though.
Okay. Okay. So they were doing okay. Dude, that's okay. So when did it really? When were you okay? Just to fill everybody in. I mean, you're talking about going from 0 followers in March. Here we are at the end. This episode goes out at the very beginning of 2021, but we're recording mid-December, and we're talking. You're at 1.1 million followers.
Yeah.
Okay, so where was the moment? When was it like, oh my gosh, this is really starting to go?
I made this series, and it was actually a trend. It was about you lock eyes with this kid at school. It's just some stupid concept, right? But it was you locked eyes with kids at school and you see what type of mythological creature he was, and it's a werewolf. It was just something silly. I don't know. I just put it out there. I was on FaceTime with my friend that night. Actually, my best friend on TikTok right now. His name's Pablo. He's another content creator. We both started. I met him when I had 20,000 followers, and we both had 20K together. And now he's at 800K, close to it. And now we've been on this journey together. So, yeah, shout out to you, Bilal, if you're watching this. Yeah, so I mean, me and him, we'd stay up till 2 a.m. because we had nothing else to do. At the time, we weren't even taking online classes, just a long spring break.
Right.
So we'd stay up all night getting out notepads and just writing out these ideas.
Oh, so you guys were really sketching out ideas.
Oh yeah, no, we were
things to
full
record.
On at it, yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's really when it started taking off, was when we started doing these all-nighters and making ideas. We had this idea of just this 1:30 in the morning idea, something cheesy, something stupid, but something simple at the same time, something satisfying to watch. And that completely took off. That was my first video to hit 1 million views, and that's when I started gaining 100,000 followers a week.
Okay, so that was the one that really triggered it.
Yeah, it was crazy. That one got me to 100,000 followers.
When was that video? Do you remember what month?
I think it's still in March, towards the end of March.
Okay.
Maybe April, maybe early April.
So this is quick.
It happened kind of right out of the gate.
And this is nuts. So, well, I want to kind of dive into, one of the things that you told me is that you're really, kind of using this as an opportunity to kind of, I don't know if fight's the right word, but fight bullying and, and the anxiety that comes around this kind of stuff. I mean, what has your experience been so far in that? I mean, have you had people leaving comments that were super negative, that were hurting your feelings? Has there been, I would assume if you got 1.1 million, people are going to be who is this idiot?
Yeah, I know exactly what
stuff.
you mean.
Yeah, I mean, have you been getting that? And
no, of course. Okay. That just comes along with the job,
And how do you take it? How old are you again?
I'm just turned 18.
Just turned 18. Okay. Because the one thing that I know, and sorry, I promise to our audience I'll stop and let him start speaking. The one thing that I know is that a lot of teens, their identities really start to get wrapped up in social media, right? And in these platforms and what people think of them. And so I'm really, really curious, somebody who's gone from 0 to 1.1 million in a very short period of time, what your perspective is on all that and these negative, any negative comments and bullying and that kind of thing.
Well, when the opportunity first came up, and when my first video did blow up, and I decided to actually do something with it, actually, manifest it and continue on with this, I knew that some form of bullying, whether that was just kids in my town or just online, it would come up eventually. And it did. It happens, you know. It happens when you have 1.1 million people that follow you. But, you know, growing up, I always was bullied. Elementary school, you know, I was the tallest kid, right? So no parents would want me around their kids and stuff like that. So it wasn't anything new to me, but I did have like social anxiety in middle school due to bullying in elementary school, which eventually led to high school as well, beginning of high school. It really came into the point where I stopped caring during lockdown because I knew I was like, I'm not going to see these kids for a while, you know. This lockdown, like it's rumored it's going to be going into summer break. I won't have to see these kids for like 4 months. I have 4 months to do what I want. So, you know, I just kind of took that opportunity and I wanted to build a platform. I know most people are like, oh, well, POVs isn't really like, it doesn't really prove against anti-bullying. Well, the way I see it is that, you know, POVs is sometimes to some people seen as the cringy community in a way. Well, I mean, a lot of communities are seen as cringy communities. Just about any community can be cringy. But POVs, a lot of my POV friends, different communities go after different communities. So, yeah, so some people thought it was cringy. And I just wanted to show people that, you know, I can stand up to this easily. You know, just, yeah, you might be anxious about making videos or, you know, duetting my videos. But, you know, just kind of push through it, I guess. And recently I started up a Discord server, which completely goes against or, you know, fights social anxiety by getting to meet new people. And one thing I learned on my time on TikTok is the best way to fight social anxiety is by talking to people online first. It is the easiest way to, you know, get out of that little box that you're in. So I made this Discord server to let my followers get to know me better as a person and get to know each other and become new friends on there. So that's been kind of like my goal is to fight, you know, social anxiety and anti-bullying.
So you're pulling people to like your own community, like what do you mean by Discord server? I don't even know if I understand what you're saying. So a
Discord server is like a server that I run. Anybody can join.
Okay, I figured that's what you're talking. So like, you're inviting them to that place?
Yeah, it's in my TikTok bio, so they can just join in whenever they want.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, but it's all, you know, helps social anxiety. There's even like a therapy chat in there if people want to get what's off their chest. Moderators will come in and help talk to them about it, and you know, other people that help out other people get like higher roles and stuff. That's just really how it works. But you know, everyone seems to love it. Dang,
what was the first social media platform that you were on?
Like a big platform or just any platform in general?
I'm just kind of curious, like whatever platform. Like, what was the first social media platform you were on, and what age? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was Instagram, and I believe it was 6th grade, and I don't think my mom knew I downloaded it.
Okay.
Yeah, I kind of hid it from my mom. They didn't know I downloaded it. My mom didn't want me getting Instagram, and I kind of snuck onto my sister's Vine account sometimes when I was in 5th grade and watched some Vines. My parents were like, we don't want you watching that. Okay. But I did. You know, I was like, why not?
Okay. So parents were now that you are 18 and you have a social media following that's super large, like, I mean, what are your thoughts on that for other kids, right? Because it's funny, as a parent, you know, I have an 11-year-old and a 7-year-old, and you know, we just get into these discussions with other parents, and it's like, man, when's the right time to let your child be on social media?
Well, the thing is, I've started to notice is that, you know, kids that get on social medias, especially TikTok, if their video does go viral, then they will get bullied. You know, it's bound to happen because these older kids don't want these little kids on platforms and apps like that. So I guess a good age for them to really just start exploring the platform would be about 12 years old, 13 years old, but I would let them start posting around like 15.
Okay.
It's probably the best bet because these kids don't really understand what they're going to be making and what it means to other people, because it really just goes down to our generation, you know, how Gen Zs and like how they run social media. They don't get that yet at a young age.
You like seem to me like this bullying and the things that happen don't really bother you. Has there been a comment that has bothered you?
No, not really. I mean,
no? You just kind of said it. Like, I mean, what was your mindset going into that then? Because I feel like too many people do get wrapped up into like what these comments are saying about them, right?
Yeah.
And so it's, you know, like, I don't know, how did you create, or how did you, just have that mindset of like, I'm not going to let this bother me?
I mean, I would just kind of laugh it off, I would just, if I see a hate comment, I'd find the funny ones. I'd respond to them. And usually if I respond to when I was mean, my followers, I don't want them to attack. They know that my followers would attack them if they saw it, so they would usually delete the comment. But it's not even that. It's just like, you just kind of got to laugh these things off. They're inevitable, so, might as well just either embrace them, let them make you a stronger person mentally, or just either let it get to you.
Given the fact that it's all happened this quickly, what if it, like, where would your mindset be, like, if it all disappeared tomorrow? Like, what if TikTok was no more? Well, you know what I mean? Like, have you ever thought about it?
Oh, no, I've almost been through it. Like,
yeah, okay, because this year, because, during the, Trump at one point was even saying, like, oh, if this doesn't sell, or, we're going to shut TikTok down. I mean, were you like sweating during that time? Like, what? Like, oh no, please don't.
Not gonna lie, yeah, that did stick in my head. I was like, oh man, I really hope this doesn't get shut down, because I have all these friends on here, I have all my followers, I don't want to let them down. But at the same time, I was like, well, if it does get shut down, I could focus more on soccer, school, and really just focus more on myself. I mean, there's positive and negatives to these things, right? So what's been the biggest positive?
Really getting to make a platform to people that they can come and feel safe at and comfortable in. Try to make my own environment, my own atmosphere. Kind of just being in control of something that other people enjoy, which is super nice.
And the biggest negative?
The biggest negative would be the mental strain that media has on teenagers. And things like that would mostly be caused by stuff like cancel culture.
Yeah, so talk to me about that. For our audience who doesn't understand or know even what cancel culture is, why don't you explain cancel culture? What is cancel culture to you?
I think cancel culture is something that is created but completely misinterpreted, right? I believe that cancel culture should mostly apply for people of certain ages or things that they've done. I think cancel culture has been used a bit excessively, and most of it is caused by people's boredom. People get bored, they want to go on, harass a big creator because they can for doing something stupid like making a song that wasn't a good song, right? Instead of, motivating the person to actually make a better song the next time, or trying to help them out, improve them, like give them points and tips. People just go right in and bash them for it.
Dude, why is the world so like this? It drives me crazy.
I couldn't tell
It's just easier to be like, you suck, you're terrible, give up. I mean, it's like, it's everybody's default. And so that is cancel culture.
Yeah.
Just like trying to prevent people from, it's funny because you talk about soccer and other things. Like my son is an avid runner, and like he's had, and I think I've even talked about it on the show before, but he was kind of going through some bullying with somebody at school to a point where like this person, was just really trying to keep him from succeeding. And he would because he was just one of the best runners. And like, I actually had to go to him during the school day one day, pull him out of class after I found out some stuff that happened, and set him aside and say, listen to me, like this world is full of people who will always try to tear you down to their level because they're not willing to work to get to your level. And for me, like, that's cancel culture, right? From the standpoint of people just want to like bring you down, tear you down, cancel you out. So that way you just almost create a mindset of, I can't do it.
Yeah, no. Yeah, exactly. I think cancel culture, in my opinion, I think it's majority of the times it's stupid. Now, other times I believe that it's necessary. Some of these creators just don't deserve a platform, right?
In what ways? What do you mean?
They will say things that shouldn't be put out there. They will do things outside of TikTok that shouldn't be done. That's just socially unjust or illegal for that matter. They try to come out
on these platforms as role models for these younger kids. A lot of the bigger creators do this, but really outside of it, they just completely fake the whole thing. And it's people like that just that give, you know, influencers a bad image, right?
Because they're just living a completely fake life online.
Exactly. No, if you want to go into internet influencing, you do have to change, you know, the way you are, in a sense. What I mean by that is you have to, you know, be more socially educated on touchy topics. You have to, you know, find what motivates you and really stick with it. You have to really be motivated by it. And it has to be something you really have to take advantage of and grasp with two hands. So
it's interesting.
It's the small things, but they kind of all pile together to be bigger things to really become an influencer. Most of these creators that, you know, deserve to be canceled, though, were the ones that just got lucky and went viral and really didn't do much. They didn't really have a goal. They just, you know, were screwing around one night and they got lucky. And I think that's what really pisses me off the most, just about they just give us a bad rap. Like, take some of the guys out in LA, for example. I'm sure you heard of some of the content houses, right?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sure you've been hearing about like some of the news about it.
Explain to our audience what a content house is.
Okay, so a content house is these creators. They get these managers with these agencies like Top Talent, like Town X, and just stuff like that. And what these agencies do is they get a bunch of these sponsors. They get a bunch of money. They put all these creators in a house. These are the guys that want to take internet influencing to the next level, really want to make it a career out of it. Like Charli D'Amelio and Noah Beck. Well, Charli's not in a house anymore, but she was originally in a hype house. And they all live in these big houses out in LA. You know, like these ridiculously massive houses. And there's all these teenagers that live in it. And people see it as like, oh, well, it seems super easy. Seems like a super simple life. Well, I mean, I'm friends with some of these guys in these content houses, and it's actually not as easy as it seems. These guys are always getting wailed on with promos. They actually don't have much time to do what they want. They're always busy 24/7. If they miss one thing, if they mess up one thing, then it backlashes on them massively. They don't do a promo, then they lose a dramatic amount of their promos that they get, which is a massive amount of their income. That's how they really stay in these houses and stuff. So it is... I mean, on top of that, you have like stuff like cancel culture coming in, keeping up with your fandoms, what's socially correct, and all these different things that just, you know, these influencers need to keep up with. It seems stressful, and these kids like give up going to the chance to play, you know, sports in colleges and stuff. Going into college, most of the times they have to take it on later in life if it doesn't work out for them. But
what's the point of these houses? Just to collaborate and create more content.
It expands your platforms.
Okay.
And, you know, it gives you more of a...
More cross between other... Mm-hmm. If you're doing a TikTok with two other people who have 1 million followers, it's like you're going to get more and more and more. Is that the idea? I don't even know if I really understand why they put all these kids in a house together, except that it reminds me of like Real World on MTV back in the day. If you know what that is.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Yeah, I know what that is.
Okay. James? Okay. Just checking.
Yeah, no, it's kind of funny. It's almost like a cult, right? I swear. Yeah. So all these guys, they come together with these managers and they like collab and stuff, and they get all these followers to get to see each other. And the bigger creators will work with the smaller creators, and the smaller creators will work with, you know, even smaller creators or equal value creators. They'll live in a house together, and the house will get a lot of followers. They have their own page usually.
Okay.
Once their house gets a lot of followers, then this spreads out through usually about all the members. They get verified on all their platforms. Most of the times, they get a lot more opportunities. Most of the houses actually even give you like opportunities on things like Netflix. Like Chase Hudson, for example, Little Huddy. He's in a movie that's coming up that Machine Gun Kelly's directing. And the reason why he got that role is because his contract with, I think, it's not Top Talent that runs Hype House, but the house he's in, the agency that owns the house, they really got him the deal to get on a movie. So he's about to be in his own movie. So these will give you like opportunities. Some of these actors are going to be in like their own shows and stuff now, like Addison Rae and Dixie D'Amelio already had her own show not too long ago, and Griffin Johnson, all these other big creators. So it really does expand your career as, you know, whether it's being modeling, acting, or just internet influencing.
Have you been asked to be in one of these houses?
I've had the opportunity to come up.
You have?
But, you know, it was just a weird time. I didn't want to go in anything yet because I'm looking to play soccer in college. And, you know, there's just a lot of things on the table right now. But, no, I've been approached by an offer a couple times.
Yeah. Well, so what do your parents think about all this?
Well, originally, when I first started, they didn't really know about it until I hit about, I think, like 10,000 followers.
Okay. That's when they're like, oh, dang, like our kid has 10,000 followers?
It wasn't even that, man. It was just like, oh, neat, good job. It wasn't until I got my first promotion that they were like, I like this, you know?
Okay, so you got your first promotion. What was that?
It was just the audio promotions. I made a video with these music that people make. And the thing about TikTok is it's a great platform for promoting music. A lot of songs that are going viral nowadays are mostly coming through TikTok. So all these audio companies and these record labels, they'll come in, they'll pay these tons of money for these big influencers to use their songs in like a dance or something to really just try to start a trend. It's honestly genius if you think about it.
All right, so I'm a recording artist under a label.
Yeah.
My label will take a 30-second clip of what I hope will be my new hit song, hit you up and say, hey, make a TikTok using this 30 seconds of this song, and we'll pay you for it. Is that the idea?
It's somewhat like that. You can message an influencer directly if you were looking to promote music, but you're going to have to ask them what their price range is. Some of these guys might kind of rip you off, maybe try to pull you up a little high. The best thing to do is contact one of their managers to see if they're with like anyone that gives them promos. I have a guy that gets me promos, good friend of mine. He's a top talent agent, but he helps me with promotions. He gets me all these audio deals, and yeah, he takes a cut. But it's like a
manager.
Yeah, it's like a manager.
Let them do the work, bring you the money.
Yeah,
and give them a share.
But you have a better chance of reaching out to one of these managers and getting a good deal with one of them instead of contacting an influencer directly. It really depends on, you know, the statistics and their numbers.
So is this one video using this little music loop, right?
Yeah.
What kind of income does that make for an influencer? Does it depend on their following, I would assume?
It does. I had a friend that has 2.2 million followers, and he would charge about $1,000 per video.
Dang.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I have my friend Bilal.
It's actually really not that bad.
It's really not.
Thinking like $1,000 to get it in front of potentially 2.2 million people if they watch it.
Yeah. You really want to look at the creator's views, right? So my friend was averaging like 400,000 views. So you'd have about 400,000 you'd have about 400,000 people or less listen to your song for 30 seconds. And majority of these times, yeah, for $1,000, which is, if you think about it, that's actually really good.
Right.
You have a better chance of, you know, doing that than making a whole music video on YouTube, hoping it goes viral and stuff like that, and trying to do it on your own. I mean, you could just hit up an influencer, and it's honestly a great investment nowadays.
Well, and then like people can copy the sound from the video, right?
Yeah.
And make their own TikTok using the sound.
Yeah.
And that just kind of like starts to exponentially get the loop out, because there's been a lot of like music loops that start trending, everybody starts using them. I mean, that's the idea. That's what they're trying to accomplish, right?
Yeah, that's more or less what their goal is.
I love this stuff. This is super fascinating. So, I mean, your parents were just kind of like, oh, okay, great.
Yeah.
Like, they hear, oh, you can make money on this? Now the tone changed or what?
It was Mom and Dad, no offense if you're listening or watching this, but to be completely honest, when my parents first saw it, of course they were supportive of it, they're like, just don't focus on it. Probably even put this behind a hobby, right?
Okay.
But I had nothing to do in my free time, so I'd just go up in my room and make TikToks all day. My parents would sometimes get on to me for doing that. Like, you're spending too much time. You just like go on a run or something. Like, I know, I get like, go outside, touch some grass, right? But I mean, yeah, I was staying in shape over lockdown. What can I say? But you know,
okay.
I was spending a lot of time, about like 2 to 3 hours a day,
Making
making
TikToks?
coming up with original ideas for POVs.
And you say you were making like 2 to 3 drafts.
I make about 5 drafts, post 2 to 3 times a day.
Okay.
I originally started off by posting 8 times a day, and just, the more you post, the better chance you have getting on the For You page.
Okay. So you slowed that down. Why? Why not post 8 a day?
It was really when school got into effect.
Okay.
And
You're like, I still gotta graduate high school.
You still got some priorities, man. So, it also just came down to algorithm changes as well. Originally, when I first started, it was a weird time in the algorithm, I guess, is when I first started, they were having a bunch of new, there's these things called algorithm changes. Sometimes they'll focus on smaller creators, help them get a bit of a foundation for following, and it gives them the opportunity to grasp it or not.
Right.
And I guess for my advice for people that are wanting to start a TikTok is keep posting, because these come up randomly. And when you get that opportunity, grab it with 2 hands and just don't let go. That's more or less what I did. I got super lucky, but
I mean, it makes sense, right? From a platform standpoint, you post one video and it gets 60,000 views in 24 hours. Well, what do you say? You go, oh crap, dang, let me post again. It's almost like it gets you addicted. The algorithm got you addicted to it to the point where you're like, oh, let me post more.
Now there has been a big algorithm change due to TikTok monetization.
I'm sure.
And that's what's kind of holding me back. I used to post 3 times a day. Now I only post about once or twice a day. And I just pulled back because, I'd post once, great post, doing really good. I'll post again, and the post won't do well at all. And it's not that I'm not focusing on the numbers. I'm focusing on, I want my followers to see the content I'm making. I'm spending time on this. I want them to see it. I want them to be inspired by it. Right? I want them to be entertained by it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of pointless when I make, 2 videos and only see one of it because of algorithm. So,
I got several questions that I want to ask.
Yeah.
So let me get to them because we're gonna run out of time quick. Because I can just dive so far into I love the platform. I think it's genius. I think they just it's very similar to Vine but just a little bit longer. You get what is it now? You can get up to 60 seconds a video.
60 seconds.
I mean, it's great. It's entertainment. You could literally sit there and just scroll for hours. It's really not healthy from a content consumer standpoint. I've gotten lost in it before, just laying in bed, just laughing my tail off. So I have to ask,
go for it.
How many people in your circle, right, whether it's family, friends, have been yo, dude, come, let me make a TikTok with you. Let's collaborate on stuff so that way you can help me boost my following, right? Because I look at Charli. You said Charli D'Amelio, right?
Mm-hmm.
Her sister, Dixie.
Mm-hmm.
She really, Dixie became famous
From her sister.
More
or less, yes.
Because her sister started blowing up, and then she was like, yo, sis, let me get in on here, and which was smart. I think it was genius because now they're both talented influencers. But have you had anybody be like that?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
I had kids.
What are those conversations like?
Yeah, I would just be like, I don't have my stuff with me to make a video. Or I just only do POVs. I don't make all these dance videos, which I am. I'm completely open to make dance videos and stuff like that. But anyways, yeah. And then I'll have random kids I haven't talked to in 2 years come up and be like, man, what's up, William? It's been so long. He's just it's crazy.
Who are you?
And I was just yeah, I know. And he was like, man, we should hang out sometime. I'm like, sure. Just.
So, do you have any siblings?
I'd have a sister, yes.
Okay. How old is she?
20.
20. Okay, so she's a little older, but she, it's still at the age where she's like, hey, does she even care about social media? Is this?
Oh, she does. Yeah,
she does.
When it first happened, she was asking me to make TikToks with me.
Yeah,
a lot. Yeah.
Have you done?
She still is.
Have you done any of them?
Yeah, I've done a couple of them. I've done 2 with my sister.
You're like, no, sis is my thing.
Yeah, I've done a couple with my sister.
Okay. I think it's just super interesting because I would just imagine those kind of conversations? Like, have you had to have awkward conversations where you're just like, like I really don't want to?
Yeah.
Like,
No, it's weird sometimes, but you get used to saying no so much. So it's just kind of simple.
so you were talking about with your parents where, they kind of saw the light bulb a little bit when there was a potential to make some money here. Like, have you made money?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell us how much?
Yeah, I could say. I usually do a promotion deal for an audio, about $500 a video.
Okay.
And
how many of those opportunities have you had since March?
They really start coming in till I hit 200,000 followers, and that was in May or June. And I had this girl hit me up, and she gave me like, "You do this for $45." At the time, I was like, $45? I was like, you got yourself a deal. Didn't even look twice into it.
So the first deal was $45?
It was $45. I don't even think I was just like cheaper than that. It was more like 30 or something. I don't even remember. It was
Dude,
like,
that's awesome.
What would be now like a complete ripoff. I was just like, my money? It was like money? I was like, I'll take it, yeah.
So are you just like Venmo me? Or like, how are you exchanging cash with these people?
Through PayPal.
PayPal?
And Venmo, yeah.
Okay.
It was great.
$45, let's go.
$45. I go up to my parents like, Dad, I made $40.
What
He was like, really? I was like, yeah, from TikTok. He's like, keep it up.
And then when you're like, oh, I got $500 from TikTok, and then they're like, oh, like
no, I'll just go downstairs like, I got a $500 deal promotion. I was like, good job.
what's the total for 2020?
For 2020?
Yeah, roughly.
Like how much money have I made?
Yeah.
I made about $2,500 off of monetization.
Okay.
And that's usually about $20 a day.
Okay.
Audio promotions, started working up from, I used to do 3-deal promotions, and I did about 6 or 9 of them. And that's a big margin. But that was $45, and that was with my first kind of person that would send me audios. So I would do about bundles of 3, so I'd get about $150 for each time I did that. And then I started working with this guy who would give me about $200, and then $300 I worked with some companies, some local companies, about like $100 to $200, and then the big ones start rolling in when September, I believe. Yes. And I started off with $300. I did about 10 of those, and then I got about 4 $400 ones. So roughly close to 20, maybe less than that, 16 grand.
Dang, dude.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
And like that's only going to grow. Mm-hmm. Especially as this account, I assume, like, where's your mindset at now? Like, are you looking at this as like, man, like I could become an influencer and people do this as a career.
Yeah.
Like, is that even of interest to you? Or are you still like, I'm going to finish high school. I want to play soccer. I want to go to college. Like, where is your mindset at now that this rush of, what I would call, TikTok success has hit you? Like, what are you thinking right now?
well, of course.
Here we are, 2021. Yes. What are you thinking right now?
Well, of course I want to go to college, yes. And playing soccer in college is ideal.
You play keeper, right?
I'm a goalkeeper, yes.
6'5", you guys. This guy's tall.
Yeah, and it's always been my dream as a kid. I grew up watching these YouTubers, and I wanted to be a YouTuber. Now that I'm starting to get on that platform, I'm starting to switch over to Twitch and YouTube. Not completely, but like I'm opening more platforms. I'm not quite sure yet.
Okay.
There's options on the table, and I'm just kind of wandering around until a couple more months to decide.
And you're pulling your audience to these platforms?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. So how many platforms, do you have a following on YouTube?
So, no, I haven't opened it up yet.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
And I haven't opened on my Twitch yet. Probably by the time this is released, it will be. But
so these are things that are kind of like in the plans, things that you've thought about.
Like, we just got the whole setup for YouTube and Twitch. That's all complete. We're just looking for a good time to open it. Currently, yeah, like I'm on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok.
Have you had any cool collaborations with any of these other? Because I know you said you had another friend or somebody who became your friend.
Oh yeah,
because
I've done collaborations with my friend Brandon Sorbo. He was down in St. Petersburg.
This is my first collaboration I did, and then I did a collaboration in Orlando with a bunch of influencers.
And what do those collaborations look like? Like what are you doing?
Me, I was just sitting on the couch the whole time, man. Like everyone's over there doing like the renegade, like just dancing, and I was over there. I don't dance, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm too tall to do this. Like I'm just going to tower over the person in front of me. So I was just kind of like, and nor can I dance either. I'm not a good dancer. You know, I'm just too lengthy to do that. I'll probably end up smacking someone in the back of the head. You know, but no, it's fun. You get to meet these new people, and that's the thing I really liked about it is I've built a almost near like close to a family with it, right?
Okay, that's cool.
And yes, of course, there's drama to come along with that, right? You always have the family drama. Well, there's the TikTok drama that comes along with it, but
I love how it doesn't bother you though.
Oh, not at all.
It's just kind of like, whatever.
It did at first. I will say that, but you just kind of got to power through it. To the point where you just kind of like you don't really care that much.
Have you had the opportunity to connect with anybody like Charli D'Amelio?
I haven't had the opportunity to go to Sway House and hang out with the guys there and collab with them. Unfortunately, it didn't happen due to soccer and COVID at the time. I was starting up my semi-professional season, and I couldn't do that. But, I've been invited out to LA tons of times to go out to these content houses, make collabs with all these people. It's just a weird time frame for me because I'm still super busy. Like I'm still playing soccer for high school club. I'm doing school, trying to get through college applications, just stuff like that, But, hopefully second semester of my high school year, when I'm done with all this, I can go out in LA a couple times and hang out with some of my friends there, make some collabs with them. It seems like it's going to be fun.
Do you know where you want to go to school?
We have a couple of options in mind right now. Yeah.
You don't want to tell us where?
It's classified right now, just to soccer purposes. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you're trying to, okay. Because you're, possible scholarships and stuff or what?
Yeah, kind of like that too. But at the same time, as I told you, cancel culture. People will try to find anything against you.
I gotcha.
They'll even make up stuff. It's happened to my friend. They've made up accusations about him when he was in college, like before he even got into college, and they almost took his opportunity away from him to getting into that school until it was like false. So, I mean, me and my family decided to keep the whole commitment thing until I'm fully signed and know the fact that we're going there.
Okay.
We're just going to keep it all like on the down low right now.
So now they have 1.1 million followers, and like are your parents getting more involved? Like, are they like, okay, this is really cool, but we need to like sit down and have some real family discussions about, you know,
yeah, we've had those.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. What have those been like?
Sitting down.
What are their concerns? Because I'm trying to put myself.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to put myself in the, seat of a parent.
Yeah, just in case let's say your kid goes viral
what if this happens to my 11-year-old becomes, if he's 18 and he's got 1.1 million followers, like, what should I be doing? I would love to hear like your advice to parents who have a kid who just got 1 million followers on a social media platform. What are they supposed to do?
Well, there's several things they can do. Try your best to be supportive with the kid. That's the first. Don't try to, stop him from making it. Make sure his priorities are in check. Make sure he's getting like his schoolwork done. That always comes first. But be supportive. Make sure like if he's not doing anything, it's just relaxed day. Let's say a Saturday, family's not doing anything. Your kid's upstairs making TikToks and stuff. Just be like, check in on him. Make sure he's like doing all right, because it is a mentally straining job. I worked both retail and internet influencing. They're both completely different animals, and most of these parents have no idea what being an internet influencer is like. As in retail, he's like, oh, well, customer service, you have to do it for about 6 hours. TikTok is, until you're done with it, more or less, or until you get bullied off the app.
Jeez.
Yeah, it's brutal mentally.
So what's next? I mean, here's 2021, just entering a new year.
Yeah.
Where's, are you making? How many TikToks in the month of January?
Hopefully over winter break I can go back to posting 2 to 3 times a day. I'm gonna see if that'll be able to work back for me, because I do want to make more content. Most of the thing is like a time schedule. Like I'm making TikToks during lunch, dude. Like, I'm doing online school. Majority of the reasons because first off, I don't want to be around the kids in my high school doing TikTok, because they're gonna make fun of me or they're gonna want to use me for it. And then I have more time to make it, it's just a lot more simpler for me just to do it in my bedroom. Like, I can get up out of fourth period once it's done, go over, make a TikTok, eat some lunch while I'm doing it, get right in fifth period.
Yeah.
So, it's a lot more simple.
I love how like just trying to fit it in between school.
Oh yeah, no, it's just like it's there,
Dude. This has been a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
I'm really fascinated by like the culture behind TikTok and that kind of thing. I mean, if there's somebody that's out there that really just struggles with, what people comment. I mean, what's your advice to that teenager that is going through some of the same stuff that you're going through?
So just kind of like some hate comments and stuff.
Yeah.
So
what would you say to him?
Yeah, I would tell him, man, it's just like they're not worth your time, right? They're a lot lower than you are. If they're commenting this stuff on things that you're putting effort into, well, then they don't respect it, but you don't need their respect regardless, right? You need respect from your family, respect from your peers, your friends, the ones that you actually trust, and most importantly, respect for yourself, right? You respect yourself while you're doing it, then, I mean, then you're set. Once you get that in your head, I mean, it's difficult to get in your head at first. You're focused on, everything that everyone's saying to you because you're like, oh, this is my image. I want to see how people view me. And when people are like, oh, you're like weird, you're just trying to get girls and stuff. That's the whole reason why you're on this app. It's just like, you gotta
Is that the whole reason you're on the app is to get girls?
Oh yeah, man. That's why I all started. I was just bored, man. That's the whole reason why I started it. But I'm so glad it turned into what it did. And, I've been through it. My friends have been through it. Every creator has been through hate, right? And, it's going to happen if you want to get into it. You just got to, view yourself the way you want to view yourself instead of seeing how others view you. But at the same time, keeping in mind of how others view you. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So don't take what they say to heart, but almost let it educate you in a way. Right, because some of the times they're not wrong. The hate comments aren't wrong.
So some of it what you're saying is some of it you can almost perceive as like feedback.
Yeah. And
you can take some of it. I mean, it just depends on who it's really coming from. I feel like, for example, and I don't know, you're the expert here, not me. Yeah. But I'm like, I like, he's like, yeah. Yeah, that's true. To come across like that. It's like, yeah, that's true. I'm going to take the comments from the people who listen all the time and comment on every one of our podcasts, right? And they say, oh my gosh, I don't know, like somebody who is an avid listener, and I know that they're an avid listener, if they give me feedback on the podcast, I'm going to listen, right? But somebody who I've never heard of, who's never commented on anything that I don't know, is probably the first episode they ever heard. I might not necessarily take that feedback to heart, right? Yeah. Because they're not a loyal audience member, you know what I mean? Or they're just seeing it for the first time. It's almost like who's it coming from? You're going to take what your mom and dad say to heart versus some stranger on the internet. Yeah. So that's kind of the way I perceive that. But
yeah, I know what you mean. But
have you watched The Social Dilemma?
No, I haven't.
Okay. I was just curious. It's on Netflix.
Okay, I'll check it out.
It's all about social media and the impacts of social media.
Oh no, I've heard of that. I've heard of it.
It's pretty interesting. So I was just if you had watched it, I wanted to kind of get your take on it.
No, I'm experiencing it
firsthand. Well, where can our audience find you? So you're definitely on TikTok.
Yeah.
What's your TikTok handle?
It's William_Papa_. And then my Instagram is William_Papa18. And my Snapchat's in my TikTok bio, same with my Discord.
Okay.
And if you go to my Instagram, my TikTok's in that bio, as well as my Discord. So really just, if you are looking for a, safe, comfortable community, especially not just educate yourself, because that's what I'm starting to lean more towards, is to educate these young influencers on what they want to do. I'm doing it in between what I'm already doing, because I don't want to let the people down that follow me for my POVs. Right. So I'm doing I'm juggling all these different communities together. So
you're really staying on that that point of view, the POV content on your TikTok, they're all that way? Or
No, they're all that way.
Okay. But that's like the main theme of your content.
More or less, because that's what I went viral off of. That's the community I really went into.
Yeah.
And to be honest, if you're looking to become a TikToker and you want some advice, I do think that the POV is the best community to go off to, because it's the easiest to be the most creative with. Starting a whole trend out of nowhere. It's just kind of like, you got a lucky thought. Hopefully it doesn't flop,
Yeah.
But I recommend POVs being the starting off one. It's really good.
Maybe I'll do my first POV.
You can even make it something funny. POV.
Will you collaborate with me?
Oh, definitely, yeah.
What does New Scooters for Less have to pay you to like do the whole TikTok for New Scooters for Less? We could do a fun.
I could do like a POV walk.
What does that cost?
Like the mechanics working on your scooter or something. And you lock eyes with them, something like that. Yeah.
Hey man, don't tease me, dude.
I'm not teasing. All right.
We'll make it happen. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, dude, thanks again for coming on the show. This has been super interesting. I'm a social media guy, so I hope a lot of our audience just dives into it. TikTok's been one of those platforms that's just been super fascinating. I think a lot of people, I've noticed that a lot of people have had similar experiences, not quite as quick. Like I would definitely say you're the only person that I know that's gone from like 0 to 1.1 that rapidly. But man, like and when I say 1.1 million that rapidly, that's pretty fascinating. So it's I'm gonna be super interested to kind of like watch and see where it goes from here, to see how to see what you decide with monetizing it or career wise. It'll be super interesting.
No, I'm excited to see what we do with it too, because it can change very quickly.
Absolutely. Well, thanks again for joining us, and thanks to the team that makes this show possible. You guys, we got James Leitner behind the camera. He makes me look so good. James. Thanks, buddy. And of course to Sarah Lentz, Allison Majorino, and my co-host Michael Dees, who's not here today. Mike, I hope you feel better, bro. And podcast fam, if you're driving and didn't have a chance to write down the information of the incredible sponsors that make this show possible, don't worry, we've got your back. Visit whoagnv.com/sponsors, or simply click the links in the show notes of this episode. And special love and shout out this episode to the UF Mover guys. You guys, if you or someone you know is about to move, tell them to give our friends, the UF Mover guys, a call. Brad, Jordan, and the team at UF Mover guys can do it all. They offer full service packing. They can move bulky items. They will disassemble that furniture you need to move. And if you need to put it in storage, they've got your back there as well. They offer free and fast, no obligation estimates. They require no money up front. You pay when the move is complete and you are 100% satisfied with their work. Give them a call at 352-415-0886 or visit them at ufmoverguys.com. And of course, when you do, say, I heard you on the WHOA GNV podcast, the podcast bringing you businesses and individuals that make you go, whoa. Give us your best whoa.
Whoa.
We will see you later. Bye.